Thank you so much for watching wherever you happen to be. Thank you very much. You can also send us an email, paul@skynews.com.au. We're here with Joe Hildebrand, who is in the man cave right now. Ross Goodell, the National Senator, who joins us right now as well. Now, let's get into some things here.
Yes.
Including the petrol price situation.
Yep.
Now, look, obviously there is a direct correlation between what is taking place in the Middle East and the oil price, the flow on to petrol. But as many people have pointed out, the stuff that you are putting into your car today wasn't bought by the oil company today.
It did not just come through the Gulf of Hormuz.
Yeah,
like,
it's a little bit. But here's the thing, Joe.
Yeah.
We all know this. We are sceptical of this practice. We all see this. The ACCC will put something out. But I guarantee nothing will happen.
You are so speaking my language, because I'm outraged about this, and I've been putting off filling up the car, and I thought, I'll still be able to fill it up for the old price. I've got my little fuel check app, and because I like to put in the good stuff, the 98 for the Falcon, nothing too good for
getting proper.
And I thought, and I just looked at it, and every single one was like way over $2 a litre, right? Now that should not be possible. The stuff they have got in the tanks underneath the servo that they actually pump the pumps from did not come from the Gulf of Hormuz. It was not affected by the blockade. And not only this, and because it takes about a week, and of course the ACCC will look into that, and of course I'll go after it. And this is why in the old days, in normal times, you could see a vastly different vast difference in price between two petrol stations. I used to drive past two on opposite sides facing each other on the same street, and one would be almost 40 or 50 cents difference because they've just had to buy the more expensive fuel on the more expensive cycle, and so they've got to charge more for
One
it.
got their batch a week ago, one...
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker, right? Because you know what also comes out of the Strait of Hormuz? Gas. And you know what hasn't changed an iota? Not one
is the gas prices.
Cent. They forgot to rig the gas prices. They were so busy artificially pumping up the petrol prices that they forgot to actually change the gas prices to make it look legit.
Yeah.
So
now,
do better, cartels.
Now, Ross, obviously in regional areas it's quite an issue too. But also I want everyone to know that if it's $1.58 or it's $2.20, 50 cents of every litre is federal government tax. So there is a way to drop 50 cents tomorrow, but they won't be doing that anytime soon. Ross, again, how do we do something here? Because I know bank bashing's a national sport, petrol station, petro company bashing's a national sport, but there's this little window where it's pretty obvious they're taking the P, and I don't mean petrol.
And they are. I've got to say, I'm pretty dirty at Joe for reminding them of the forgotten gas. They'll probably fix that tomorrow.
I know, sorry. Just filled up tonight, Ross.
Yeah, mate, I'm down in Albury now and the prices are up here. I guarantee there hasn't been a fuel truck of expensive Hormuz oil get down here overnight. It's not good enough. It's what they always do. And you say bank bashing and fuel bashing. But we saw it on the interest rate rises. There was a 25 basis point interest rate rise and some banks put it up 37%. There was, a lost in translation moment there. This gouge happens all the time. We see it in the supermarket inquiry. We had it. It has to stop. You can't keep taking people for a ride. But as you said, we took to the election last time a halving of the excise for a period of time to help people out with this. And we should do something like that here when there are these balloons that aren't normal. Certainly it helped with inflation numbers because this will bite. When fuel prices go up and the next lot of inflation numbers come out, it's going to put the interest rate up again, so we get hit again because the fuel prices went up early. People just keep copying it, and they can't cope now.
And as I've explained in great detail all week, the government has always sort of hid under this idea as part of how they got re-elected, which was, when it's good, it's us. When it's bad, it's international factors. Despite the fact that everything was already interest rates going up, highest inflation of the major and comparable countries, now everything to do with the budget is about Iran. Again, another get out of jail free. How many rainbows can they be kissed by? But they are copping it by the day. All right. Today, an announcement made by Morgan Stanley. I'm not imagining that there's an awful lot of people watching us right now who care about the inner workings of Morgan Stanley, but still, thousands of jobs gone. Why? Because AI will be able to fill the void. Now, Ross, a lot of white-collar people don't pay attention when the factories close down, but they're going to start to pay attention now when the office is being thinned out, even if the office is the one that you've got at home.
And this is really scary. We're seeing the doing jobs, the growers, the builders, the makers, the miners, all these things in the regions, all the manufacturers being hit by cost of energy and these things. Now we're seeing these thinking jobs which people are being told to. People in my area, the 100, are being told, go and retrain and get these white-collar jobs. Now they're disappearing. We're being hit on both sides, and the cost of doing business is getting worse and worse. So businesses are looking to ways to save money, to cut things, the IR changes. And so where do people end up? This is just starting to happen. This is not the end of it. This is the beginning. And I've got a real concern about what happens in the long term of Western economies, where we're taking away the doing jobs, replacing them with the thinking jobs, and computers are replacing those jobs before people can even get there.
Yeah, I mean, it's this thing, Joe, where, again, we're not going to solve in a couple of minutes talking on telly the whole AI question, but I don't think we seriously engage with it enough.
Yep.
I think that again, things like federal elections come and go. Do we talk about education standards? No, look over there. Something as transformative as this, was there a conversation about 2 ways to handle this? No, look over there. Here's the cart. This is real stuff.
Yeah, I have huge misgivings about AI. Obviously, no one's going to cry for the lawyers and the bankers, but this is what happened to manual labourers in the Industrial Revolution. It's what happened to industrial workers with the technological revolution, and now it is happening to white-collar office workers. We were told this was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. This had been telegraphed well in advance. But I do find it kind of interesting. I did a lot of panels towards the end of last year with, the usual suspects about what's AI going to mean for journalism and what's it going to mean for the media industry. And I kind of thought, I'm not sure you actually get this. AI is going to F everybody. It is going to turn absolutely everything upside down. So the idea that you could be, in a vulnerable cell or cozy yourself up in a little silo and it wouldn't affect you is completely the wrong thing to ask. I think the thing we have to actually ask is, how will AI affect human beings? And if you want to talk about people who write and create, I mean, it's one thing for people who do Excel spreadsheets. AI can probably get that right. What happens when AI starts writing newspaper articles, which it is already? What happens when it then branches out? What if it writes a long-form feature? What if it writes a feature about...
What if it writes a book? What if it writes a...
What if it writes a book and you start crying because the book is so powerful because you think it's written by a human, but also then you find out it's not?
But also there's a world where people have been turning... Dr. Google's been around for a while. There are people who are using... certain AI programs to sort of solve life problems. This is not amazing. All right, 2 quick ones before we finish here. Let's talk about the fight for Farah. Ross, unsurprisingly, perhaps a reason you might be where you are right now, is because game on, right? When do the Nats announce a candidate? Because there's an independent already in the game. One Nation announced this weekend. When do we know who's running for the Nats?
So 4 candidates, pre-selections on Sunday morning. Just been at the Brady's Railway Hotel with about 40 Nats and all the candidates getting ready. So we are ready to go as of this weekend. It'll be a great chance to have a say on what we're doing in Australia and if we're heading in the right direction, should we return our standard of living and our values. So it's just a great opportunity for Australians to have a say, but we will be ready. We can't wait for the fight. Looking forward to being part of it.
Joe,
that is a great
Labor choosing not to be there.
Yes.
Choosing not to be there, on the upside for Labor, they're thinking, OK, all right, so we don't have to get involved in a preference thing with the Teals. Yeah. We hope that they go to the Teal. Yeah. But, as I showed before in the preference flow, about a quarter of the Labor vote went to the Libs. Yeah. And, of course, there is this factor, particularly in the regions, about where parts of working class Labor vote has gone. We'll all find out together, but should Labor be in this fight?
I don't think they will be. The PM was the first leader to actually hit the ground in Farah. He went there almost as soon as...
To campaign for no...
Just to troll the other 3 major parties and just say, ha, beat ya. But I think he's too smart probably to... Well, I do think he's very smart. He's a very good political operator. But I think... What upside is there in Labor running for the race? For one thing, you put yourself up as a target. Just because the coalition is imploding doesn't mean that people feel they're doing particularly well under the government. So do you want to put up a target and say...
Yeah, so they don't think they can ever win, right? So therefore, don't get involved in a fight that shows that you're stronger or weaker.
Exactly.
Instead, you step back and you let
That's right.
the teal become the proxy, right?
Yep.
With all the money that's there. But again, Ross, when I hear about these three-cornered contests, right, the idea of the Libs being able to take on the Nats when a Nat retires, and similarly when it comes to the Libs, there'll be a lot of people that watching going, hang on, sorry, I don't understand here, right? How do you sit opposite at a candidate forum and have the Nat hang stuff on the Lib and the Lib hang stuff on the Nat without it pushing people to what is now another option for the centre, right, which is One Nation?
Look, it's all happy families again. I've got a job again. It's back in coalition, but I think it's a really interesting thing. The Libs will have someone here. We'll have someone. It will be done with respect. I mean, even the relationship with Angus and how he's treating us and the positive thing on policy, it's just a lot better fit for us now. Susan's been a great member down here for a long time. She's held the seat for a long time, but One Nation will be here. It's really important for us that the Teal doesn't win this seat. I mean, she's backed by people that wanted the 450 gigalitres of water recovered from the Murray-Darling system, which is important here. It's been very dry. So we'll be doing what we can. We'll obviously preference type the Liberals as Nationals. I'm not the one that chooses, One Nation or anything other. But it's so important for the regions that a Teal doesn't get this seat and really hurt us. So we'll do what we can, and we think we can maximise our vote by doing just nuanced versions. Libs are a little bit different than us. We've got some different targets. Libs are strong in Albury. They hold the state seat. We haven't been down here for a while. We think we'll do okay in the regions. But maximising that vote among the centre-right is important. Obviously, we'd love to win it, but we know it's going to be hard with the things down here. But if we can do that and get through and beat the Teal, I'd love Labor to come down here. I know they're not. They're backing the Teal themselves. And we're going to see, a bit of a spend-off, I think, between the last hurrah of the uncapped Climate 200 and a bit of the new resurgent backed by Gina One Nation. So we'll see if we can keep up with it.
All right, we'll all be watching on. Winners and losers of the week. Joe Hildebrand, who stands out for you, yay or nay?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that Donald Trump was the winner and the Ayatollah Asahola was the loser because he is deep in the cold, cold ground.
And the replacement too. Get ready for the next 24 hours, everyone. All right, and Ross Goodell, your winner or loser this week?
The loser's got to be Labor on the FOI laws. I think that's a great loss for that, great thing for Australia. And the winners, how could it be anyone else but the petrolheads of Australia, ready for the Festival of Speed at Albert Park?
I know. Okay, so look, Oscar Piastri, what's your sense? Can he win this thing? Obviously, technically, but I won't say will. How well does Oscar do this weekend?
He does bloody well. I mean, I'm hearing the McLarens didn't run the new Mercedes engine in their last trial and have a step of evolution on speed like that they've done there. So I'm just sitting there and hoping. I know Mercedes are favourites, but go Oscar.
I just hope they can cope with the new petrol prices because that's going to put a bit of a strain on McLaren and Mercedes.
All right, thank you guys. Do appreciate it.
Guys.
We'll see you very